It is exciting. You know, it's very moving. You know, I'm very grateful. I'm very honored, but very humbled. I will say that it's becoming more real.
When you think of Dr. Sara Boone McAndrew, many say she is the epitome of Southern beauty, grace, and charm. And she had a way of making the nearly impossible possible since the start of her life. Here is the story of the power of education and how it conquers fate and shapes destiny. Sara was born on the 4th of July in 1946 in the small central Texas town of Hillsboro. She was an only child.
I had a very, very wonderful childhood. They both lived to be in their 90s. And so I was so lucky.
Growing up, Sara enjoyed playing outdoors, swimming, and she loved school. She learned early on, through the values instilled by her parents, she would be destined to a life of learning.
My mother was a teacher in Hillsboro, a brilliant teacher. In fact, when I was in high school, and you don't hear this very often, I took every course she taught.
After high school, she attended the University of Texas and graduated in 1967 with a language arts degree. She says starting a teaching career was the best decision she ever made.
And I walked into that classroom, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I loved the kids. I loved English, the literature. I loved being there. I loved the teachers. I just want to do that the rest of my life.
That's also when Sara met her future husband, Mac, who taught at the same school. They were married in 1968. And then the children came, first Emily and then Patrick. So Sara stayed home for a few years.
I was into the mother-children thing. My children were born, and they were a lot of fun. And I really do. Mac and I both really like our children. And they're not perfect.
And now she has her first grandchild, Graham Boone McAndrew. His parents, Patrick and Suzanne, along with Grandma Sara, couldn't be prouder to involve them in this school dedication.
It's going to be fun to be able to bring him back and say that he was there the day that it was dedicated, and know that this is part of his legacy to pass on.
Patrick only wishes his dad would have been alive to be a part of this amazing family history.
To know that a name McAndrew, which this school is being dedicated because of all the incredible work that my mother's done, but that also my father, his name will live on through it, it's pretty wonderful.
Sara McAndrew started her career at Northside in 1988 as a teacher at Taft High School. In 1995, she co-founded Communications Arts High School as a teacher and principal.
So we opened Communications Arts High School in a way that we said we want a school that we teach students to speak well, to write well, to use visual language, and to use technology effectively.
The Magnet School continues to focus on those same practices. Julianne Matonis was among the first 120 students at Communications Arts. Years later, she still counts Dr. McAndrew as a mentor and friend.
If you're lucky in your education career, you find teachers that believe in you. But what's really life-changing is when you find teachers that make you believe in yourself. And that's what she is to me.
In 2002, Dr. McAndrew became the academic dean at Clark High School. 2 years later, she was appointed as the executive director of secondary instruction for the district. While at central office for 8 years before retiring, she became friends with Dr. Linda Mora, deputy superintendent for curriculum and instruction.
Sara always was the eternal optimist. I used to call her our Pollyanna because she would see the bright side of anything. The rest of us were, you know, this, that, and the other, and she was, well, here's the good thing. or here's the good thing about whatever. So she was always the optimist, always looking at the golden side of whatever issue we were working on. So that's what I admire about Sara.
Cindy Tyroff also worked with Dr. McAndrew, first at Taft and then later at Central Office. To Sara, she was known as Cinders.
She did play with people's names. Linda Gann was Ganny. One of the instructional support teachers in science was Amy Cakes.
Dr. John Folks also shares some humor.
Sara is Sara. How do you describe Sara? Sara McAndrews, I think, is probably one of the best teachers I've ever seen. And if you came to me and said, Dr. Folks, give me an example of someone who you think would be a great teacher and show people what needs to take place in a classroom, I would say you need to go watch Sara McAndrew.
With attributes like that, it's only fitting that the school board name a school for Dr. Sara B. McAndrew. McAndrew Elementary School is nestled in the Hill Country, is the only Northside school to date with a Bernie address. The school was built at a cost of $19.8 million thanks to the 2010 voter-approved bond. As you walk up to the school, vibrant columns resembling huge crayons line the entrance. Once inside, students and their families are greeted by a Scottish tapestry that sets a theme for the school. The McAndrew name is big in Scotland, even having its own family crest, and that's what was replicated here.
And on there it says, wisdom is the conqueror of fortune, which translates to wisdom conquers fate. And that's basically what school is about. What you learn takes you where you want to go, and you create your own destiny.
In the library, the school mascot, the Highlander, can be seen proudly from the top of a castle tower wearing the school colors.
The mascot is the Highlander, you know, which are a group of a certain kind of person, down to earth, people who work, people who dream in Scotland.
A mural displaying the words "Once Upon a Time" leads you into a fairy tale setting, while the magical theme gives a feel of being in an ancient castle. The technology is state-of-the-art. It's here where children use laptops to search a digital library catalog. The entire campus is 100% wireless. Each of the classrooms is equipped with a ceiling-mounted projector, a laptop computer and docking station for the teacher, and classroom computers for the students. McAndrew Elementary is also equipped with a digital surveillance security system. The latest technology extends to the cafeteria. Students make their way through the lunch line. When it comes to checking out, they simply enter a code into the keypad. Fine arts also takes center stage at McAndrew Elementary as students practice the new school song during music class. As the principal promotes school pride, this includes a display of shields and crests the students and teachers created. The namesake recalls a conversation about it with Principal Upright.
She called me, you know, and she said, well, we are just doing all things McAndrew. And I said, what does that mean? And of course, what it meant was that the Scottish piece to my husband's family was what really intrigued her.
That sense of school pride extends to the entire school community.
I think after meeting the community and meeting all the children, I'm just so honored to be here, and I'm proud to be representing this community. The families have been amazing, the teachers are amazing, and this building, it's just such an honor to be here.
McAndrew Elementary opens small with plenty of room to grow to accommodate 540 students who can dream big. Dr. Sara McAndrew believes a world of possibilities will open up to the Highlanders as they too discover that education and wisdom will conquer fate and shape their destinies.